Hello, ladies and gentlemen. You know, in the public, where well, also, I will labor and the of Rome. So it's nothing. Well, one of the things I would like that well before. Oye, Alarco.
Spanish. I have my mind is free. Hello, everyone.
Excellent.
Hello, Enrique, Whitney, Roger. Very nice to be with you tonight. Hello, viewers. Welcome. Yes, as Roger and Enrique said, we're going to talk about Dominican Republic. It's a beautiful, beautiful country in the Caribbean, but there's a lot more to sun and beach than 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 that in the Dominican Republic. So stay tuned. We'll talk a bit more about it.
Also, the low surprise your friends or surprise your family going to Dominican Republic. And also, I think so we are going to know more about this fantastic place with Vicente, and he has our two fantastic guests that they are going to talk a little bit more about what is Dominican Republic and different places that maybe we can visit. Vicente, over you. You are on mute, Gustavo.
Oye, ¿me escuchan?
Yeah, perfect.
Welcome. Thank you very much, Vicente, Enrique. Es un placer, it's a pleasure to meet with you. I work for Dominican Republic Ministry of Tourism, and we're based in London, the UK and Ireland, basically. And yes, the Dominican Republic, as you mentioned, is a very interesting place. We are really well known because of our beautiful beaches, fantastic resorts, and that's what people mostly know about the Dominican Republic. When, for example, they go and book a holiday, that's what they look first. It's beautiful. But there's a message that we want to get across. We want people to discover or rediscover the Dominican Republic because of all the things that we have to offer. Apart from that, it's fantastic, it's lovely, but I think there's so much more about the destination. Um, a few years back, we took um, we took a group of journalists to the Dominican Republic, and we decided beforehand not to take them to the beach at all. So it was really interesting to see how it was going to come out, and we took them to different places. We made a fantastic route. We took them to Santo Domingo, the capital city, as you mentioned, is the first European city of the Americas, and we have has incredible things to see and to watch. Nightlife in the Dominican Republic is really, really interesting, and in Santo Domingo is fantastic. The old buildings, the small bars and cafes, the friendliness of the people as well, which is one of the things that is basically our main identity, is the friendliness of the Dominican people.
Yeah.
Santo Domingo is just 1 square kilometer. People can just go around and just walk around it. There's always some kind of cultural activities in this corner, in that corner. It's a beautiful place. As you can see in these videos, the alternative Dominican Republic, all the things that you can see and do as well. From Santo Domingo, then we took them to the mountains. Have the highest mountains in the whole of the Caribbean. The highest one is Pico Duarte, which is over 3,000 meter high. So it's basically higher than Ben Nevis in Scotland, 3 times higher actually. And and over there in the mountains, you have these beautiful waterfalls, these beautiful national parks, and you can go cascading, you can go whitewater river rafting, you can do paragliding, beautiful paragliding places there in the center of the Dominican Republic in the Cibao area, and that's an incredible experience. I mean, you won't really, you will feel you're in a different place. You won't believe it. It's just incredible. After that, we took that group to the carnival. February is carnival season in the Dominican Republic, and we took them to a small town called La Vega. Um, La Vega, every weekend in February, we have one of the most colorful carnivals in the whole of the Caribbean. It's something amazing. People having fun. Again, another important demonstration of the friendliness and welcoming of the Dominican people. Um, then we went north to Puerto Plata, where you can visit the Amber Museum. You mentioned the two stones of the Dominican Republic, Amber and Latimer. You can visit the Amber Museums there in Puerto Plata. We took them to the rum distilleries. We have the most delicious rum in the world, probably. And you can visit several rum museums and distilleries and see all the process. And of course, some fantastic sampling as well. Uh, Cigars, we took them to the cigar factories. We are the number one producer of hand rolled cigars in the world, the Dominican Republic. And you can visit these factories, even if you don't smoke cigars, only to learn about the history and to see the process and see the skills of the people that do this is something that is really amazing, interesting. Um, so we took him around to all these areas as well. We have over 27 national parks and reserves in the Dominican Republic. So it's a very green country as well. We have about 32 endemic species of birds. So for bird watchers, it's an incredible place. One of those that I think is really worth mentioning is the el guaraguao, el ridgeway hawk, which is very critical, in a very critical position right now. It's a threatened species, but there are some efforts that we are doing, to recover this species, and it's working really, really well. Apart from that, in nature, you have some species that you can only find in the Dominican Republic, like the rhinoceros iguana, the Solenodonte de la Española. So, nature-wise as well, is a very incredible place. Very nice. But for more detail, well, I'm going to pass you to my colleague, my friend, Jose Alnei Uribe, he's a very dedicated tour operator in the Dominican Republic, and he specializes in that part of the Dominican Republic that we are trying to get the message across, which is the adventure and the experience. And he will talk to you about all those things right now.
Thank you very much, Gustavo. I think what you've said has been very interesting, because everybody identifies the Dominican Republic with amazing hotels, with amazing sun and beach product, with all-inclusive hotels, and they are fantastic. They are, they're some of the best in the world. But of course, there's a lot more to see in the Dominican Republic than the sun and beach. And of course, when people want to stay, we're not going to say don't go to Dominican Republic. If you're not thinking of sun and beach, just go to the other part. I think Dominican Republic lends itself to a product where if they want to stay for 2 weeks, they can go to the adventure tourism. They can do what you mentioned, go to the mountains, go to the rum distilleries, go to the sugarcane plantations, go to a number of things, and then they go and rest on the beach in one of those wonderful hotels. So thank you very much.
I just have a question that we are receiving here that they are saying a question for Gustavo that is when is the best time of the year to visit?
That's one of the great things about the Dominican Republic is that the weather is very similar all year round. Maybe there's a difference on humidity. In August it's more different to April. But what I always tell people is, first take a look at the things that are going on. For example, if you love nature and you would like to go well washing, we get about 4,000 humpback whales every winter in the Dominican Republic. Try and go from January until March. That's the time where the whales are. If you want to go to Carnival, February is Carnival season. If you love your jazz, November is the month for the jazz festival. So I basically take into consideration what's going on in the Dominican at the moment, and then I book it.
Thank you very much, Gustavo.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's one of those things. As a Mexican, one of the things that we always say is you never drink tequila in a shot, or good tequila at least, and you don't mix it with a lot of things. You drink it neat. I think the same applies for rum. You said that you have some of the best rum in the world. I've tasted amazing 21-year-old rum neat, and I think that's the way it should be drunk.
I definitely agree. And neat rum, if it's very well aged, with a fantastic, Arturo Fuente or Leon Corona cigar, playing dominoes in the street. You can call me anytime. But I definitely agree with you. Neat is the way to drink it.
Yeah, excellent.
And also, they are sending you greetings here, Gustavo. They are saying, so proud of my uncle Gustavo, highlighting the wonders of our beautiful country. It's Annie that is, of course, cheering you. Yeah. And of course, well, I just yeah. So and also Gary dances everything, everything. All it looks incredibly beautiful. Yeah, and I think so. Yes, the videos they look amazing.
Yeah, the videos look fantastic. So with that, I'd like to welcome Jose Alney, uh, for him to talk to us a bit about the adventure tourism that Dominicana, as they call it, or Dominican Republic, has for us.
Hey, hola everyone. It's a pleasure for me to be here with you with the Latin American show and with your audience. So it's exciting to hear you how do you talk about our country. And thanks to Gustavo for the introduction to our beautiful Dominican Republic. But I'm going to tell you about what we love of the Dominican Republic being local. So the locals, the local people know the real places, the authentic places that have been hidden for the tourism. So what I'm going to talk to you is about first thing is our people. So the good thing of the Dominican Republic, or the best thing of the Dominican Republic, is to know the people, is to go to the rural areas, to go to the communities, to meet the culture. The Dominican Republic, as we have an origin, so we have a varieties of ethnics that are mixed in one culture, that is the Dominican. That, as we actually know, the Dominican, we are people very happy. We are also people that we love to receive the visitors, and we give our best of us. So the best part is that you can join in just one visit, that you can have together the great gastronomy that we have. It's a mix of cultures. So the mix of the flavor of the Europeans, the mix of the flavor of the original inhabitants of the Dominican Republic, the Taino people, and the great flavor of the African, which give us a great culture with a different identity than any other place in the world. So the Dominican Republic, as you may know, that we have the music that is the merengue and the bachata. Bachata and merengue has been declared by UNESCO as a World Heritage for the culture. So not only the music, but the dance, that bachata has a mellow and romantic and very sexy way to dance, but we also have the merengue that is vibrant, that is very happy, and is the perfect match to have when Gustavo is smoking his cigar and drinking his great rum. But the Dominican Republic is great for culture, but in nature, the Dominican Republic is the most important spot for bird watching in the whole Caribbean. As Gustavo was talking about it, the Dominican Republic has a great biodiversity and is well known by the scientists and the people that love nature, because as we have an island, many animals and many species has been isolated and has grown with being endemic. So endemic means that is only found in this place. So the Dominican Republic has the variety of birds, lizard, insects that are so beautiful and such as the butterflies. And we have the biggest migration of the humpback whales in the whole Atlantic. That you know that the Dominican Republic give the ID to the humpback whales of the Atlantic because they are born here in Samaná Bay. So it's something that is authentic of the Dominican Republic as well. So we about talking about adventure, we can say that the Dominican Republic is also a great place for sports, adventure sports. So the Dominican Republic is one of the better place to practice the windsurfing. So in Cabarete, so you also have the kite, with the kite beach that is amazing, and the surf. Also, you can tour the whole island doing cycle tourism. So the Dominican Republic now has been um, preparing and created all the conditions to be a cycling country, and we can reach many places that cannot be reached neither walking or through a bus or a car. And you can go with the bicycling, empty mountain biking, or road cycling to go to beautiful place by your own in the Dominican Republic. And so we also have many places that can give you accommodation in the mountains or near places that are beautiful and hidden places for beach paradise that are out of the sight of the mass tourism. And you can also can do the agritourism, because the Dominican Republic has many products that are very well known all over the world, such as the cocoa. The Dominican Republic has the biggest production of the world of organic cocoa. So you can go to the farms and to learn about the harvesting and the growing and making chocolate from the cocoa. So the Dominican Republic also have the tobacco. You can go to the tobacco fields that are very unique. The way that they do it is a beautiful way of working life. So in the rural area, the campesinos, you can see how they grow, and they do singing during the harvesting. So it's something culturally it will amaze everyone. And with the culture, we also have another rhythms and music that are part of the syncretism of the different cultures, especially with the African culture. So we have rhythms that are called palo and atabales that are music that are very raw, very similar to the music that the African people brought from Africa when they came during the conquest, and you can enjoy how the Dominican Republic has all the syncretism with the religion related to the music, to the drum playing is very tribal, and is something that amazes everyone. With the religion is something that is great as well, because the Dominican Republic has a lot of premises that you can visit in, and the people that have faith and believe, especially with Catholics, the Catholicism, the people will go to churches that are very important. So we have basilicas, we have cathedral. Actually, we have the first cathedral in the Americas, and also you can make a kind of roads, cultural roads, that you can visit many important religion sites. And the Dominican Republic is very diverse because of that reason. And especially the most important one is that because of the origin of the Dominican Republic, we are the first settlement in the Americas. We have the history very rich and very important. So just to wrap everything in one sentence, you can come to the Dominican Republic any time of the year, but you can spend as much as you want, and you will never end discovering it, because you can come and come and come, and you will find something different to enjoy and to be greeted by the Dominicans that we love to receive the people and call you my brother or my hermano.
Great. Thank you, Jose.
Mano.
What a passionate way of explaining Dominican Republic, or to explaining any country by that matter. It's you just look at the images and the videos there that you've been showing, and one just wants to go. I really want to pack up my things, get on a plane and go. But not only, as we mentioned, I do insist on it. going to the beach is amazing, but doing just experiencing the people, experiencing, the picture that Gustavo's put in my mind of not necessarily you don't have to smoke a cigar because I don't smoke, but just playing dominoes in the middle of, on a patio somewhere, just enjoying friends, uh, and the environment, listening to the people talk, uh, and
Mhm.
feeling the humidity, the hot and humid air, and again the weather changes. It depends if you're, at sea level or if you're higher up in the mountains. The weather patterns change. It's a little bit cooler. Or going to see the cigar plantations, whether you smoke or not, going to see the tobacco plantations and to see the sugarcane plantations and to see the rivers and do the whitewater rafting and the, you know kite surfing and all of those things that you can do is just simply amazing, and it's something that I really want to do sometime soon.
Well,
You're
you will
welcome here.
be really, really welcome anytime. And yeah, thank you very much for the opportunity to share these things with us. And
Thank you.
definitely, as yeah, it's our motto. But the Dominican Republic, as I told, is really close. We don't have snow, but we have everything else.
Yeah, well, thank you very much for being here with us tonight, to the both of you, Gustavo and Jose. You're welcome to stay and see the rest of the show with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My
Have a good
pleasure.
evening.
Thank
Enrique,
you, Vicente.
back to you.
Definitely very interesting. Yeah, and well, of course, as we were talking about this mixture of flavors and everything that we have there, it's, I think so. Dominican Republic is very rich in that way, and that's the reason why we have a fantastic guest that he's going to explain us a little bit more about this food. So, Roger, if you want to introduce him.
Yeah, of course. Well, from the Dominican Republic, we got the chef Federico Alvarez. He studied administration in Dominican Republic, but then he moved to New York and he studied International Culinary Center. Around 2015, he got the executive chef position in one of the most Republic Dominican restaurants in New York, 809, which is, by the way, is a way to dial to Dominican Republic. And then in 2017, he won the Guinness record for the biggest service of mango. Mango is one of the best and the most famous dish in Dominican Republic. Welcome, Federico Alvarez.
Hi, thank you, Roger. Thank you guys for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to see Whitney after so many years, and just ready for any questions you have regarding our delicious cuisine.
Well, Federico, first of all, tell us a bit of how was your starting? Yeah, how because you study administration and then you went to New York and then you be nostalgic because of the flavors of back home. So you start studying. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, so as you said, I did go to school for business. I've always wanted to be in the business of restaurants, to be more specific. So it was just going to New York was a really nice opportunity. As you mentioned, I worked at 809, which is basically the area code of the Dominican Republic. It's the first three numbers that we dial whenever we call back home. And with this in mind, Cirilo Moronta, which is the owner of 809, um, decided to open a restaurant for Dominicans. And at that time, 809 was only known for people outside of the Dominican Republic because we didn't dial it ourselves. We only had to dial it to call home. So then, with this in mind, they said, how can we open a restaurant, a place where Dominicans can feel identified, where they can come and feel like they're at home, but they're still in New York? So with this, they decided to open, well, he decided to open 809. When he did, he calls my father to help him out as an advisor in a way, just to see how he can do, because my father was very well informed in the restaurant business. So he went over to New York, helped him out. He would come back and forth all the time while I was studying business in Dominican Republic. And it was always like, get your degree, and once you're finished with that, you're going to continue your studies in New York and you're going to apply it in 809. We want this is it was like it was I had all the pressure was on me. So when I finally moved to New York in 2012, unfortunately, my father passed away a month before I moved to New York. So it was a bit more of a pressure added because it was you're going to do what you were supposed to do, but you're not going to have this help. So I pretty much went over there. I studied business management, food and wine pairing, cooking, all these stuff to be better equipped to be a restaurateur. And with
Well,
that in mind, that's why I started cooking pretty much and just got the job as the chef. And that's when we added a bit of a twist to the restaurant where we decided that this 809 had to be related to the food, which wasn't before being done this way.
well, and tell us, Federico, you get the executive chef position in 2015, but only 2 years later, you had the Guinness record, the 28th of February of 2017, for the biggest service. Tell us about that.
Yes, so this was pretty much Despierta America, which is a really big show in the US, which is pretty much Good Morning America for the Latin community, decided to celebrate the Dominican Independence Day by doing something with the Dominican community of New York City. So they contacted us and they told us, we want to do the largest service of mango. And my boss tells me we have to do this. We have to make a mango, this amount of mango to be able to reach this goal. So it was hands on deck. We worked for a week planning, just seeing how much we would need, all the ingredients, all the stuff. And then we worked for about 26 to 28 hours the day of with the peeling of the plantains, the cutting, frying eggs, dicing everything. It's just crazy. And then finally, for the day of the independence, we had this huge service that you saw in this picture, which was pretty much all plátano, which is green plantains that we boil and mash, and then we eat with salami, which is like a Dominican bologna in a way, or like a spam, fried eggs, cheese, onions, and then that's pretty much the mango with los tres golpes or the three hits. So each hit would be one of the sides for the mango.
Wow,
And
there's
normally, sorry,
such.
Roger, one question regarding to mango. Mango is like the main dish, or it's like how do you eat mango? Or you
Well, the
put
the
like a
name of
side or
now
something?
Dominicans, we all put everything in the plate. So it's not
Okay.
like, oh, like when I came here, when I came to Spain, because now I'm in Spain, like whenever I would go eat at a friend's house, I'd realize like at first they would serve the salad, then they would serve this. We would put it all on the plate and just dig in. So for the mango itself is what we call the mashed plantain. And then los tres golpes or the three hits would be the sides, which is typically salami, fried cheese, and fried egg.
Oh,
And the
Wow,
that sounds
cool
tasty.
thing about the mango is it's we have it as breakfast if you're working in the fields. You could have it for lunch if you want to have it for lunch, or for dinner as a light dinner.
So like, especially plantain. Plantain on its own is quite tasty and it's really rich. But of
I
course,
love it.
with those three hits, it must be quite something as well.
It's I mean it's one of the things you must have if you're in DR, and it tends to be something that's served as breakfast in like resorts, tourism complexes and stuff like that, because it's obviously something that we want to show.
And
so
sorry,
you recommend it. So
Obviously,
you
I mean,
recommend it.
I did the largest service in the world. I had to, and I love it. I mean, whenever I find plantains here, I get a few, boil it, mash it up, and have it with some eggs or whatever.
and
Enrique.
and, and yeah, and Fede, one question is like, well, you moved from New York and now you're in Spain. What is
Yeah.
that transition? Why you were very you were doing good job there. So
Yes,
it's
I
like
was.
why you were changing?
I mean, it was pretty much me wanting to see other cultures more than anything, and obviously learn more. Like have because when you cook, you always learn, you always hear about French, Spain, Italy. Like these are the three bases of cooking when you want to be a cook. So when you go to a culinary school in the States, they teach you a bit of the French more than anything, or French American as they call it. So I wanted to have something else, and being able to speak Spanish, Spain was probably, and the best choice. And also to add to that, having that like base of that type of cuisine, wanted to get involved in the Michelin world, the Michelin Guide, Michelin restaurants. So I came to not to do postgrad in high gastronomy and like creative cooking. And also I took advantage of the opportunity to do internships in a Michelin star restaurant, as well as at a very local traditional Catalan restaurant here in Barcelona, to have this like, you know, knowledge of the traditional local cuisine.
Whitney, I know you have a question.
Yes, Fede. I know you talked about mango, but what are a couple other dishes that you would recommend that people must have when they either visit, well, when they visit the DR?
So mango, obviously, that's your breakfast. When you come to DR, that will be your breakfast served wherever you go. And as Jose was saying before, Dominicans, we like to have people come over and we like to feed them. That's obviously why I'm a cook. So mango, mofongo, which is again green plantains that we fry and then we mash with chicharrón. It's something that's obvious. It's also very traditional of Puerto Rico. We might fight to see who owns it, but we have it a lot, and I like our version more because we do it more with like chicharrón, which is the pork belly, where in Puerto Rico they do it this way, but they tend to do more seafood. And the one thing that I totally recommend people to do is go to Boca Chica, which is the beach that is the nearest to Santo Domingo, and there's a bunch of little like stands where they do fried fish and janiqueque. That is for me, it's the best thing because you're at the beach there. Um, uh, they were saying before about the ron with the cigar and the dominoes. I'm more of a beach chicharro. I mean, janiqueque and the fried fish. That's my thing, and a really cold Presidente beer in my hand.
What's Janiqueque,
Wow.
if I may ask?
Janiqueque is it comes from Johnny's cake, but the Johnny's cake is completely different. It's pretty much lean dough that we fry. So like the dough of an empanada, of
Okay.
a flour empanada, we would just fry it without adding anything. So it's like a big, like round pizza that we fry pretty much in a way, if you you can say.
Like a Dominican pita bread or
Kind
flour
of.
tortilla in
And
Mexico, kind of.
the name for Cuba in Cuba, they do it and they call it empanada de aire because it's just an empanada that has nothing inside. So I guess that's the best way to describe what it is.
Okay, that makes
Well,
sense.
Federico Alvarez, it's been a pleasure to have you here in the Latin American show. Thank you very much. One of the most prominent chefs outside of Dominican Republic. So stay tuned and follow his career.
Thank you very much. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for those
Also,
kind words.
also
And
next
it was a
time,
pleasure for
Fede,
me to be here.
maybe Fede, next time that we will talk about Dominican Republic, maybe you can teach us how to prepare something. Yeah.
Of course, why not?
Oh,
We can
yeah.
do that.
Excellent.
With pleasure. That would be my total pleasure. Again, I just love feeding people, and if it's Dominican food, it's even better.
And I love to be fitted, so don't worry. Yes, you can prepare it, so no
Awesome.
problem.
Awesome, guys. It's a pleasure again. Thank you for having me, Whitney. Te quiero mucho. Pleasure seeing you after so many years.
Sí.
Excellent. So, well, also I know that Fede he has an Instagram and where you can see different kind of recipes. So it could be interesting that you can follow Fede because he has a very good recipes and everything and very good pictures, very delicious. So, well, it's like and of course, well, Laura Cordero, she's saying, "Love you, Fede." Uh,
Mama.
okay. Also, Lily Martinez, she's saying, "Oh my God, sounds delicious. I can do beach, sun, rum, and mondongo anytime." Yeah. So, well, it's like, and thank you everyone that we have a lot of commentaries. Thank you very much to Carmen Brito, to Jorge Courier, that he's putting like Dominican Republic and strongman. Yeah. Also, Karen Dancy, Roger Garcia de Leon, Lily Martinez, who is saying Enriquito Lake, and of course, Abhijit, also who is watching us, and he's in the team of Latin America. Thank you very much to everyone. And of course, well, as I said before, please let us know your commentary. Let us know this program is created for you. So please let us know what do you want to see, which kind of topics, which kind of countries, so in order that we can talk about them and maybe bring in the experts that they can talk about it. And I think so now. Thank you very much, Roger. By the way, it was a very good presentation. And also,
Thank
well,
you.
now we're going to learn a little bit of Spanish with our friend Whitney Nochereno. Come on, Whitney. A mí, hermana, ¿no?
Hola, ¿qué tal? Okay, so we're going to do a little bit, just give me 2 seconds, I'm going to get this ready, of a segment called Making Spanish Simple. And I'm just going to share it right now. And today I cut some of the lesson because these interviews were just so interesting. We had to keep going and going with them. So part of that I will explain next week as well. So we're going to talk about, since Fede was a part of the show, about restaurants, and going to start to see how to order things in a restaurant or a cafe or a bar. So with that in mind, I'm going to give you the basic vocab. They're cognates. That means that what they look like words in English and they actually mean those same things. So this is an easy start. You have un café, just like in English, a coffee shop or a cafe. Un café, un bar, a bar, y un restaurante. So un café, you can repeat after me at home. Un café, un bar, un restaurante. And what's special about this is that all of these establishments are in Santo Domingo. So, and I've been to them, and they're wonderful. And more importantly, for all of you on social media, they're very Instagrammable, which I know is very important these days. They might ask you para tomar o para comer. Tomar, it's kind of like in English with beverages. It actually means to take, but it can also mean to like have a beverage, as we say that in English. O para comer, so you could say sí para tomar. You could say sí para comer, o los dos, both of them. Okay? Now, when you ask for something in Spanish, I'm going to teach you a couple simple ways. There are many ways to ask for food or beverage in Spanish. I'm going to teach you 3 very simple ways. The first one is un or una, whatever the item is, por favor. And we've learned that por favor means please. So un or una is a, so you could say un café, por favor, una botella de vino, por favor, lo que sea. So that's one thing that you can use, and it doesn't fail you ever. The other one is para. Para in Spanish, well, okay, good news. Just like ser and estar, there are 2 verbs to be. There are 2 words for the word for the word for in English, por y para. So you could say para mí, for me. And then if you're at a table with other people who don't know Spanish, haven't watched a Latin America show, and you have to order for everyone, you could say para nosotros, para él, para ella, para ellos. And that's for them, like a mix between like females and males, or para ellas, a group of all females. So again, you can repeat after me. Para mí, para nosotros, para él, para ella, para ellos, para ellas. And then another verb, and this is the 3rd way that I'm showing you tonight. There are many ways, like I said. To ask is the word gustar. I use this quite a bit. Of course, it varies from country to country how you would order. So I'm just going to teach you. These are a few ways that you could order, no matter what Spanish-speaking country you're in. And it's the verb gustar, to like. So I know sometimes in English we'll say like, oh, I want this, I want that, and it's kind of considered, I don't know, it's not as like nice and smooth and polite. So I've always gone with me gustaría, I would like, nos gustaría, for we would like, le gustaría, and this could be he or she, and les gustaría, they would like. So it's the same verb gustar, to like, and you just change the first word, and that's the pronoun, to say I, we, he, them. So one more time, me gustaría, nos gustaría, le gustaría, les gustaría? Okay. These are a little bit longer. You always have to pay the bill. So to ask, you could say la cuenta, por favor. La cuenta is the bill or the check. Yeah, we say bill in the UK, the check, if you're an American watching this. La cuenta, por favor, is the bill. So say it after me. La cuenta, por favor. And then this is a way of saying, do you accept credit or debit cards? Because not a lot of places do. Well, actually, I don't know about that, but in some countries, not a lot of places do. Some always ask for cash only when I've traveled. So it's important to know that. And that is, se aceptan las tarjetas de crédito, las tarjetas de débito. So credit or debit cards, se aceptan. And you can repeat after me, las tarjetas de crédito, las tarjetas de débito. And they might say no solo efectivo. So efectivo is the way to say cash. There are a lot of words to say money, but cash is efectivo. They might say like plata, dinero. Well, but efectivo means more cash. So that's what you'll probably hear. And then if you need to ask where one is, ¿dónde está un cajero automático? We learned ¿dónde está a couple episodes ago. Un cajero automático is a way to say an ATM. And then a few useful words, not just in restaurants, but anywhere you go, as we've seen various times. Por favor is please. Gracias is a way to say thank you. You can say muchas gracias, cosas así. De nada or no hay de qué is what you can say when you want to say you're welcome. So you can repeat after me. Por favor. Gracias. De nada. No hay de qué. And then last but not least, we're going to do heard on the street. And these are some words that, okay, there we go. I'm going to move myself to the right so you can see them, but whoops, the other way around. And that's un chin de. So un chin de is a way to say a little of, un poco de. And jugar pelota. So in the DR, baseball is a huge thing. So of course they have their own word to say la pelota or jugar pelota. Pelota is ball. And then we have un guineo, which can be a banana or another way of saying banana, plátano. They're different. Plátanos tend to be starchier and bananas tend to be sweeter. And as you can see in a lot of Fede's dishes, there's plátano. And then esa vaina, that thing, esa cosa, when you want to kind of refer to something and not be super specific. And then ya tú sabes, typically there's an S on sabes, but that means you already know. So that's all I have, but if you want more, I will soon be uploading more video tutorials on my website, makingspanishsimple.com. I also have a YouTube channel under the same name, Making Spanish Simple, Instagram, Facebook, anything you need. And that's it.
Excellent, Whitney. Very interesting. Yeah. And of course, well, I think so that Fede now he was paying attention, just like checking, okay, if she's teaching correctly Spanish, because now you were in the other way. You were in the other way. I can see Fede that he was like, she's teaching English, but now she's teaching Spanish. So let's see. So he was evaluating or validating that you were correct in the different words.
I taught him French in the Swiss Alps, so now the tables are turned. He's, looking and analyzing me.
So at least she pronounced it correctly, Fede. Fede, did she pronounce correctly all the words and everything? Esa vaina, no?
Vaina, yeah.
Vaina,
yeah. No, I was trying to look at the screen while I was saying it, and it was so small, I forgot.
I like the ya tú sabes.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Y no se puede olvidar de cómo tú estás. Esta de salud, de cheer. How you say hello to everyone. ¿Cómo tú estás?
Yeah, ¿cómo tú estás? No? Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
I remember that. When I was there, I heard that and I thought, wait, what? Yeah, nope. That sounds very familiar.
As Enrique was mentioning at the beginning of the show, I think, Dominicans speak very, very fast. even for us Spanish speakers, when you go to Dominican Republic and when you speak with the Dominican, it's really difficult to catch on, really difficult to understand, not because they're speaking a different language, but because they speak so fast. And of course, there's a little bit of an accent to each region and each country within Latin America. But the speed of what they speak, you sometimes look at them with a face, and they know. You don't have to say anything. The moment people start looking at them like that, they go, "Oh, okay, I'm going a bit too fast," and they bring the speed down a bit for us mortals to understand.
Yeah, I noticed that when I was traveling there. It took a few days because a lot of my studies I had a lot of Latin American professors. I studied in Spain, so my ear was accustomed to a lot of accents, but the Dominican one was not one of them. So it does take a while to adjust, even like Vicente said, for a native speaker. So that just goes to show how different it is.
Correct.
Yeah, no,
Wow,
definitely. It's very
I love it
interesting.
so many. I love so many ways to say things. It's incredible.
And there is another one. You said hermano, no? Gustavo? Sí, mi hermano, no?
Sí, mi hermano. Una cosa, one interesting thing about what you were saying about chin is a very Dominican word, and it's like a little. And you can even go even further. You can say chin for a little, chin chin for just a little, and chininin even smaller. So we are really creative with that, and any Dominican will understand that.
Guys, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
Now we can hear
Now
you.
you can. I wanted to add with the ching, because here where as a cook where I work, every single person in the restaurant understands ching, because whenever they say, "Oh, Fede, add this amount of this to this recipe," then, "Oh, okay, un ching," and it's caught on. So whenever they, "Fede, un chin de sal, un chin de aquello," it is just caught on so much. And the one phrase that I believe you missed is "que lo que."
Que lo que.
That is, for me, I mean, that's how I'm known. Everybody sees me and they say, "Hey, ¿qué lo que?" Because that's another way of saying "qué es lo que hay," "qué es lo que está pasando." All together, it's just boom, "qué lo que?"
I know, but I can't give all the expressions in one
I
session.
know, but that's probably even more slang than the rest, because we write it in 3 words, KLK.
Yeah, I have seen it. Yeah.
Yeah, for us Mexicans, un chin means a slightly different thing. It can mean a lot, actually.
Correct. Yeah. I think it's like a contraction of something that is a bad word, no?
Well, and that means a lot. Well, it means a number of things, but among other things, it means a lot.
Yes.
So, yeah.
And that's the beauty and the curse of Spanish, because you go to one country and one word is perfectly innocent and used so often that you go to another country and you say it and it's like something very, very vulgar. So it's fun, but it's also a little daunting as someone who is learning the language to keep track of all these, different words that can mean so many different things. I mean, there are 12 ways to say there are 12 words that you can use to say a pen. I mean, it's incredible. So,
but people do understand most of them, and as a native, you are understanding of someone that's not a native and try to say something to you. I mean, if me as Mexican went to Spain and tried to say something, they know I'm not going to say the proper words for whatever it is, for mop, for example, because in Latin America we call it trapeador, but in Spain or Mexico we call it trapeador. In Spain is fregona, and it doesn't mean there's no relation from one another to the other, but people can understand, and they understand that you're not local. So even if you're foreign and Spanish is not your first language, they will make an effort to understand. So I think one of the things that makes this show great is that Whitney is specifying, depends on the country that we talk about, little things that people can write, and they can learn a bit more on how to say things in each country.
I'm gonna adopt the one. I love it, the chin chin. You know what, you put like chin chin. I love that.
That was the first one I remembered during my trip, because when I had to order all the food for everyone the entire time. I took a bunch of Americans over to the DR in Haiti on one of my trips there, and so that stuck with me from day one. So yeah, I use that one a lot.
Jose Uribe, do you want to?
Yes. I would like to give my 5 cents of Dominican slang. That is tato. Tato means that is okay. So you can say, okay, tato, okay, tato. That means that is it's understood.
Tato.
Okay, interesting, Tato. Tato, yeah.
Tato.
Excellent. So, Gustavo, Fede, José, muchísimas gracias, de verdad. Ha sido un placer. Sorry, I don't know why I'm speaking in Spanish now, only because of
I
that.
don't know. This is
Yeah,
adapted
so
in
thank you very
Spanish.
much.
Serious.
José, Fede, and Gustavo, thank you very much for being here. It has been a pleasure. And of course, well, we are looking forward that maybe in another show, maybe you can come here and maybe we can just talk a little bit more about specific things in Dominican Republic. As you said before, it's a fantastic country, and there are a lot of things to discover and to learn about it. So thank you very much.
Muchísimas gracias por tenernos acá y es un placer y estamos a las órdenes.
Thank you.
We are, really pleased
Thank you so much.
to be here, and anytime you need us, just give us a call. We're happy.
Perfect.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I'd like to say something. My colleagues at the Latin American show know this already, but I'd like to say to the audience, thank you. Today will be my last day at the Latin America show. I have other things that I need to do, and it clashes with this time. So it's been great. It has been that many shows, but I've enjoyed them a lot, and I think this show is on to great things in the future. So good luck, Whitney, Roger, and Enrique. I wish you all the best. And again, thank you, Gustavo and Pepe, for being with us tonight. Fede, it's been a pleasure having to talk about tourism, which is something that I hold very close to my heart on my last show. So thank you again, and we'll stay in touch, I hope.
Thank you very much, Vicente and Royal Alarcon.
Well, thank you very much to everyone. Thank you for doing this show great. And Vicente, well, you're welcome anytime you want. And then thank you very much to the rest. See you next week.
Thank you, my dear Roger. Whitney.
No, thank you so much for watching. It's been a pleasure, and I will see you next week. Muchísimas gracias. Que tengan una buena noche.
Excellent, my dear Whitney. So, and well, of course, well, I just want to remind you that, well, to share this program with more people in order that they can know what are we doing. And also we are trying to show the best of Latin America. Of course, you can follow us in our social networks. You can follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. So, well, thank you very much, everyone. Next week, we will talk about Cuba. So, well, we're going to have a little bit of rhythm and many things. So, well, please don't miss it. See you next Tuesday, 8 o'clock, London time. This is the Latin America Show. Thank you very much. Have a good night.